Hello, and welcome to another edition of Sports Card ASMR. I'm the Sports Card Doctor. What card are we going to cut up today? Will it be one of our already opened legends, like Brett, only good in the odd years, Sabragan? Willie McGee, the man who won a batting title in the National League while finishing with the American League. Steve 2 Bars Largent, my favorite wide receiver when I was a kid, and the NFL was played a little bit differently. Shohei Ohtani, an absolute legend of our time in any era. Will he be traded? Or will he be cut up? Umpire legend Ken Kaiser, the bane of Earl Weaver's career. There's no way I'm going to cut that card up. Maybe it's Pete Alonso, New York Metropolitan superstar. Or is today the day we finally cut up Steeler legend Mark? That's not going to happen. It'll probably be a special event when it does here. Alright, let's get to our packages, our card packs. Will it be one of these? We are in hockey season. Will I finally open the Donruss pack? Will we open the bag of score? What about the 1990 Topps, which was a bag of tops as they tried to keep up with scores? Tamper-proof packaging. The 2022 season is now behind us. Do we go back to opening day? If you like these crinkles, we do have a crinkle-only video out. Check it out here on the channel. Do yourself a favor and check it out. Alright, I think today is the day. We are going to open up the last pack of Donruss I currently own. I'll have to head out to a card shop and replenish my supply. But I'm curious to see what's inside this pack. We have puzzle and cards. We have a Stan Musial puzzle. I do like Stan, one of my favorite classic players, St. Louis Cardinals. We possibly can collect one of all 26 MVP bonus cards. Exclamation point means it's valuable. course, maybe if we're lucky, we'll get a Diamond Kings. Let's dive in. Easy to open. Like that there. All right. Now, if it's okay, pack of cards, what I'm going to be doing is going through, looking at each individual card, maybe giving a stat or a funny little quib or story about the player on the card, and then finding the card that I'm going to cut up. Is that okay? Do you consent to this? You do. We want to make Dr. James Gill proud. First up, we have a puzzle piece. Ooh, looks like we got a sleeve. Now, of course, this is the 1988 Donruss. We start off with Donnie Moore, a tragic ending to a very distinguished career, one of the best closers in baseball in the 80s. Tragic ending is all we'll say right now, but rest in peace, Donnie Moore. Donnie Ray Moore. Ooh, a very young Randy Myers before he became one of the nasty boys of the Cincinnati Reds. Barry Lyons. Gary Carter was my favorite player. Barry Lyons was pushing him for playing time around this era of New York Mets baseball. I was suspicious of Barry Lyons, but really, Barry, it's my fault. It's not you. Gene Garber. We got a lot of great closers in this pack. Gene Garber might not be the player that you're talking about at the bar, especially if you're talking about Royals closers. You'll probably mention the late great Dan Quisenberry, but Garber had a distinguished career as well, mostly with Atlanta. To over 200 saves at this point in his career, 212. He finished up closely after this. Now, the best part of Donruss baseball cards was, of course, you learned the players' full names. Henry Eugene Garber. The biggest and best reveal in the 1980s for full names was Will Nuschler Clark. Joe Carter, a Donruss MVP. Carter, of course, would later win a World Series with N4, the Blue Jays. A lot of Mets in this era where they didn't quite keep that 86 hype going. Kevin McReynolds, a player who had a reputation for being, shall we say, less than enthused about playing baseball. You can kind of see it here. Had mustache. That's not full commitment to facial hair. Wade Boggs, the beer-drinking, chicken-eating, kind of a scoundrel at times, bearded Wade Boggs. I remember when Wade Boggs had that beard. I wasn't sure if it was the same player. How could you tell? Mustache to beard. Wade Anthony Boggs hit 24 home runs in 1987 just to prove that he could. Bobby Meacham. I'm a lifelong New York Yankee fan. And when people say I was a front runner because of what happened in the 90s, I say before Derek Jeter, I was rooting for Bobby Meacham. Scott Lusader, at the time kind of considered a future star, but no one who plays with spectacles like that is going to be a superstar. Not even Larry Parrish. Rick Russell. Russell was one of those players who always looked 40, but now, looking at it, he doesn't look that young. In fact, I look and feel a lot older than Big Rick Russell. The Mets continue with gorgeous Lee Mazzilli, a superstar at a time when the Mets were in the bottom of the basement. Came back just in time for that 86 run. A heartthrob through and through. Ivan Calderon, The MVP cards are plentiful in this pack. A Diamond King, Ranger Great Scott Fletcher. Probably the last time a team leader would have about 1 to 5 home runs a season. Eric Davis, one of my favorite players from this era. Tom Nieto, not one of my favorite players from this era. What card are we going to cut up today? What card is going to make the list of sports card cutouts? A lot of choices in terms of players, but Donruss this year seemed to take high school graduation photos. Just the chest up, a little bit of headroom. I think cards to cut up usually are the ones with action. So I think we are going to go straight for the heartthrob. Lee Mazzilli, it's time to cut you up. Let me get my things. I almost forgot my gloves. Lee Mazzilli played in New York in the 70s and 80s. I gotta be careful. Don't know what I'll catch. There we go. I feel safer already. A lot of people aren't sure what I, the sports card doctor, am doing. You gotta make sure your place of artistry is clean. Gotta make the card nice and clean and fresh so we can desecrate it. Lee Lewis Mazzilli. Now, as always, make sure we clear away some of the dirt. This package was wrapped in the late 80s. Who knows what it's picked up over time. It's got Reagan-era dust on it. Donruss cards, a little flimsy in retrospect. Alright. Before we do any work, just a couple questions for you, Lee. Favorite member of the 1986 Mets? Rusty Staub. That's great. All right. Are you bringing anything on this flight? Where's your passport? Okay. Did you make an appointment with the sports car doctor? A walk-in. Oh. That's amazing. Tell a friend, okay? All right. Now, do you have any pain before we cut you up? Do you have any residual pain? Your neck, okay. No, we don't do ring dingers here. Those don't look safe. But let me just do a quick palpation here. Shaking my operating table here. Sorry, Lee. We're supposed to be relaxing people, and might be making them seasick. All right. I'm going to flip you over there. On your back. All right, Lee. Feels like work might have been a little tough, all right? Yeah, okay. You still got that problem in C2. All right, here we go. Deep breath in, Lee. And release. All right. Perfect. All right. I think we're ready to get you cut up. This year, Donruss was not a great year of Donruss, but maybe that's more in retrospect, because as a youngster, I thought this card was, I thought this was pretty cool. I wasn't a big fan of like some of the more generic Topps designs. I liked the bold 80s colors, and yes, I did dress like that. All right, let's go, Lee. Nice cards. Very thin. Lee would not finish up his career with the Mets. I believe he would play for the Blue Jays, among other teams. Seemed to be a period of time in the late 80s where a lot of players finished up their careers with the Blue Jays. That action-packed card. We want to make sure to not cut into his elbow or his ass. Preserve Lee Mazzilli's ass. There should be a hashtag, some sort of cause or movement. People ask me, Sports Card Doctor, why do you cut up the cards? And I answer, if given the opportunity to achieve your dreams, do you run away or do you grab the scissors? There you go. It's that simple. That's what we do here. We slice things up. We hope you get a chance to relax. Lee Mazzilli, you've been cut up.